Hello, everybody. Welcome to our meeting tonight. We have, welcome everyone. We have a very special guest from all the way from Ukraine. She's Anna Yakuba.
Добрый день всем. Приветствую на нашей сегодняшней встрече. У нас сегодня очень специальный гость из Украины, который, да, вот участвует из другой страны. Это Анна Якуба.
I knew her a long time. I think from the time I started to know about dry fasts, the knowledge about dry fast, that's the time I knew Anna. I was reading those things on the internet, and I met her material in the internet. Just when I just Googled dry fast, and these people had finished 11-day dry fast. Others had done 7, others about that amount of time. So I was so impressed with this work, and I got interest in her work. Thank you.
Thank you. Я знаком с Анной, с тем, что она делает уже очень давно. Можно сказать, что в далеком 2014 году, когда я только искал информацию, когда я гуглил, вот первое, на кого я попал, это была Анна. Информация о ее группе, которая проходила сухое голодание. Как сейчас помню, это 11 дней, по-моему, максимально. Кто-то прошел 7 дней, кто-то 11. И это было вообще, удивительно. Я был под огромным впечатлением.
And she has helped so many people. We are going to listen to her tonight. I'm so excited to have her here. It is an honor to have you, Anna. Thank you so much for responding to our call. Thank you so much.
И Анна помогла очень многим людям, и поэтому то, что она сегодня у нас в гостях, это огромная честь для нас. И я очень взволнован и очень буду рад услышать то, что Анна сейчас, то, чем Анна поделится с нами сейчас.
All this is brought to you through our Dry Fast channel. We have a YouTube channel called Dry Fast, and we have a group, a WhatsApp group, an international WhatsApp group where we manage most of the things that we are doing now here. So all this is on behalf of Dry Fast. We just call it Dry Fast. That's the name of our group, whether in the WhatsApp or in YouTube, Dry Fast. Thank you. So welcome, Anna. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Итак, это все проходит в рамках нашего канала на YouTube, который называется «Сухое голодание», и наших групп в WhatsApp с таким же названием «Сухое голодание». То есть вот у нас есть такие группы, которые объединены одной темой «Сухое голодание». И что ж, мы еще раз приветствуем Анну. So you are giving a word to Anna, is that right?
Exactly. And I'll add just one more thing, then I let her start. Okay. In the world today, this is a good reason why we are in this meeting. In the world today, so many people don't know about dry fast, and those who know about it are like resisting. Some people don't want the issue of dry fast. Maybe it's a threat to their things, or just maybe it's just something that is an idea that they think this is going to bring death. Some people think that if you dry fast more than 3 days, you die. So there's a lot of misconception outside here, and this is why we have to get people who are experts like Anna, those who have done a little more, have more of a time, have researched, have tried things, and has worked. Thank you so much, Anna, again, and welcome now. I leave it now on to you so that you go on.
И многие люди слышали в наших группах, да, и знают, и вообще многие люди слышали о сухом голодании, но есть такое сопротивление, да, они вот этому методу и подходу, можно даже сказать, наверное, боязнь в определенной степени, потому что есть опасения, что без еды и без питья особенно, сколько я смогу прожить, там 3 дня, и кто знает, может быть, я умру, и Вот поэтому мы с особым удовольствием будем слушать Анну, которая расскажет о результатах, о том, что это возможно и что это сухое голодание, что оно дает, может дать людям. Итак, я передаю слово Анне.
Hello, my friend.
Здравствуй. So, no translation needed.
Всем добрый вечер. Я очень рада знакомству с вами, очень рада, что вы интересуетесь сухим голоданием, и особая благодарность Фредерику за исполнение еще одной моей мечты, чтобы кто-то меня, так сказать, был проводником для англоязычной большой аудитории.
So good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to talk to you and to be with you tonight. I'm happy I will be happy to tell about my experience, my approach, and I would like, first of all, to thank Frederick, who is kind of fulfilled my dream, as I needed someone who will lead me into this English-speaking audience. That is why my special thanks to Frederick.
И думаю, что наша встреча не случайно, она знаковая, потому что, как сказал Фредерик, я у него была первая, от кого он узнал о сухом голодании.
And I think that our meeting is not occasional, because Frederick said that a few years ago, I was the first one who he met, who he saw in Google, when he Googled on the internet, when he searched for dry fasting.
Сегодняшняя наша встреча будет 1 час. Я постараюсь дать максимум информации. Мы обговорили с Фредериком формат. И если вам будет интересно дальше продолжить, вы сообщите об этом Фредерику, и мы подумаем, как это организовать.
Our today's meeting will last for 1 hour. And during this time, I will give you most of the essential and important information. And if you are interested to learn more further on, please let know Frederick about this, and he will collect your questions.
Для того, чтобы наша встреча прошла максимально оптимально, я расскажу немного о себе, о школе сухого голодания, сыроедение мечта, расскажу, как мы работаем и как мы помогаем людям.
So that our meeting will be useful for you to the maximum. So I will tell about myself, about our school of dry fasting, and about our approach to dry fasting and raw diet.
И сразу после меня, буквально там короткое время, выступит Валентина Агишева, переводчик сегодняшней нашей встречи. Она 3 раза присутствовала на наших различных программах. И Ольга Винзерит, которая живет сейчас в Америке, она сама из России, сейчас она здесь присутствует, и которая тоже несколько лет назад пришла на онлайн-программу и в домашних условиях дошла теперь до 8 суток сухого голодания.
Right after me, Valentina Agisheva will speak for a few minutes, who is the interpreter at our today's meeting. She passed 3 programs with us, with our school, and she will tell about her experience. And after Valentina, we'll be glad to welcome Olga Winzenried, who is originally from Russia, now lives in America. And Olga will tell about her experience and how she came up to 8 days of dry fasting at home, so with online support.
Валентина и Ольга говорят на английском, поэтому все это будет быстро.
Valentina and Olga speak English, so this part will be faster.
Теперь немного о себе. Мне 57 лет. Я родилась 6 октября 1963 года в Украине.
So now just a few words about myself. I'm 57 years old. I was born in October 1963 in Ukraine.
У меня высшее техническое образование. Я по специальности инженер-механик.
Oh, I have technical higher education, and I'm an engineer by education.
И перед тем, как я открыла школу сухого голодания, я 26 лет отработала на промышленном предприятии.
And before I opened and started the school of dry fasting, I worked on a factory for 26 years.
С методами натуропатии я знакома с детства, потому что моя бабушка была травницей, и в детстве меня никогда не лечили лекарствами, и в юношестве, а только вот травами и различными натуропатическими средствами.
I know about naturopathic approach and means since my childhood because my grandmother was a herbalist, and I was never treated by medicines since my childhood because I always was treated by some naturopathic methods.
Своими главными учителями натуропатии я считаю Леонида Щенникова, уже ныне покойного, у которого я получила опыт 9-суточного сухого голодания, и потом ездила к нему на обучение, уже как обучение на учителя.
One of my major teachers, so most important teachers in dry fasting, I consider late Leonid Shennikov, with whom I had my first experience of dry fasting for 9 days. And later on, I went to his school, to be educated and for a teacher, so for myself to become a coach, an instructor in dry fasting.
После того, как я прошла обучение у Леонида Александровича, он мне дал нотариально заверенный документ разрешения на открытие школы в Украине и проводить программы по его методике.
So after I graduated from Leonid Shennikov's school, I got a notarized permission from him to open a school of dry fasting in Ukraine and to make programs on dry fasting myself.
И первый год я работала по его методике, и люди, которые к нам обращались, проходили 11-суточное сухое голодание.
So the first year since I started, I worked according to his methods, according to his system, and people who came to our school to pass dry fasting, they had 11 days of dry fasting.
И через год я не увидела целесообразности, чтобы люди сразу заходили на 11-суточное голодание, и мы начали проводить программы с 7-суточным сухим голоданием по моей авторской запатентованной методике в Украине.
So after a year of such programs, I could see that there was no urgent purpose for people who come to start right with 11 days of fasting. And I started programs with 7 days of fasting according to my own system, which I developed.
Моя авторская методика называется «Способ реабилитации организма», и мы проводим разные программы и с 3-суточным сухим голоданием, и интервальное, и каскадное, и длительные сухие голодания, и 7, и 9, и 11, кому что надо.
The methodology, the approach I use, and I'm the author of this approach, is called body rehabilitation. And we use different types of dry fasting, intermittent fasting, cascade fasting, and we mix these approach methods so that to find the ones which will suit a person in a best way.
Следующим своим учителем я считаю Надежду Семенову, и ее программу «Очистить и живи без паразитов», которую я прошла, и потом тоже я работала инструктором-методистом в ее школе на этой программе в течение 1 года.
So the next person who I call as my teacher is Nadezhda Semenova. I passed her program, which is called Clean Yourself and Live Without Parasites. Можешь после прохождения что было повторить, пожалуйста? Не запомнила.
Ну и через время я работала в украинском филиале ее школы в течение 1 года.
1 год. Спасибо большое. And after I passed the program and passed education at Nadezhda Semenova's school, I worked for 1 year as a coach in her center, in her school. Yes.
Следующий мой учитель – это Голтис, наш украинский знаменитый путешественник. И есть его знаменитый фильм, не знаю, есть ли он на других языках, точно на русском и на украинском, называется он «Путем Колумба». И Голтис, в этом фильме рассказывается о 40-дневном голодании Голтиса, и первые 14 дней он голодал насухо.
The next person I call as a teacher is Goltis. It's our Ukrainian famous person. He's a traveler, and in Ukraine and in Russia, his movie is very popular, which is called Columbus Way. And this movie, Goltis, so it's this movie is made during their trip to America, and which lasts for 40 days. And these 40 days were on fasting. And the first 14 days of this trip, Goltis was on dry fasting. So this movie is very popular in Ukraine and Russia. Sorry, I don't know whether it's translated in English and is available.
Кстати, максимальный срок сухого голодания в нашей школе у женщины с онкологией 14 дней. Так что кто боится голодать больше 3 дней, могу точно сказать, выживете.
So, by the way, the maximum number of days which people were on dry fasting in our school were 14 days, which a woman who had some cancer, and so she had these 14 days. And for those of you who are kind of cautious and think they will not survive 3 days, I can say for sure you can do this.
Следующий мой учитель Виктория Бутенко, она из США, думаю, многие ее знают, как леди Green Smoothie, и я у нее прошла обучение по курсу шеф-повар зеленых смузи.
My next teacher is Victoria Butenko. She's from the United States, so I think that she may be known to you. And she's known as Green Smoothie Lady in the United States, and I passed her program, Green Smoothie Chef.
И у Ольги Дзинзилета из Литвы по практическому курсу «Основы средней кулинарии».
And the next person I studied with is Дзинзилету, как зовут? Ольга Дзинзилeta from Lithuania, and I took a course from her, which is called Basics of Raw Cuisine.
Сразу хочу сказать, что я подразумеваю под словом голодание. То есть голодание бывает водное и сухое. Если что-то другое добавляется, даже чай, это уже не голодание, это уже диета.
At first, I would like to make it clear what I call fasting. Fasting can be water fasting and dry fasting. Water fasting is purely on water, and dry fasting is, of course, without water. And if anything is being added, like tea, for example, this is not fasting, and I do not call it fasting. This is called diet.
И сухое голодание бывает 2 видов. Мягкое с контактом с водой и жесткое без контакта с водой.
Dry fasting can be of 2 types. which is soft and so-called hard dry fasting. So soft is with contact with water and hard is without contact with water.
В обоих этих видах голодания вода не должна попадать вовнутрь.
And for both of these types, the water should not get inside.
О школе. Наша школа открылась 11 лет назад, 1 мая 2010 года.
So now I'm turning to my school, our school of dry fasting and raw diet, which is called Mechta or Dream in English, was opened on the 1st of May 2010, which is 11 years ago.
И обучение в ней прошли уже более 3000 человек из 45 стран, ну и, честно говоря, статистику мы уже не ведем.
So during those years, programs in our school passed over 3,000 people from 45 countries during those years. And that is why, because of so many people, we stopped, counting and making statistics.
И сразу мы проводили программы в разных странах. Это была и Россия, Индия, Таиланд, Хорватия, Греция, Литва, Кипр, Болгария, Швеция.
And during this time, we also had programs in other countries. So kind of we went to these countries to have our programs. These were in Russia, in India, in Thailand, in Sweden, in Bulgaria, in Greece,
Литва.
Lithuania.
Да. И 4 года назад, с июня 2017 года, мы построили экоцентр «Мечта» в Карпатах в экологически чистом месте в горах.
And in 2017, and exactly on the 4th of June 2017, we opened our center in the Carpathian Mountains, in the Carpathians, which is called Mechta, Dream.
Это территория Карпатского национального парка в хвойном лесу на высоте 700 метров над уровнем моря. Рядом протекает горная речка и очень хороший, влажный, хвойный, чистый воздух.
Метров над уровнем моря?
700.
700. So this, the area where our center is located is in the Carpathian Mountains. It is situated 700 meters above sea level in the area which is surrounded by pines. So there is a very fresh and pine-smelling air, which is very useful.
И я являюсь руководителем всех программ, но со мной работает еще 12 экспертов в разных направлениях. В натуропатии это и питание, это и врач-натуропат, и специалист по йоге, и по медитациям. То есть это целый круг людей, которые работают вместе со мной.
So I'm the manager of the school, so I'm the main person here, so to say, if I may say so. But with me, 12 people are working. These are 12 experts who are experts in different approaches and of naturopathic methods, like yoga, diet, holistic doctors, meditation.
Здоровое питание, натуропатическое питание.
Naturopathic diet. So we all work together on our programs.
И, как я уже сказала, школе 11 лет, и 7 лет назад я начала проводить онлайн-программы.
As I said, our school is 11 years old already, and 7 years ago I started to make online programs.
Сначала я обучала 36-часовому голоданию, потом 3-суточному, потом интервальному, потом каскадному.
First, on online programs, I first educated people to 36-hour dry fasting, then 3 days dry fasting, and then intermittent fasting.
И каскадная, Валя.
Cascade fasting.
Я никогда не думала, что я буду онлайн проводить несуточные сухие голодания, но когда случилось коронавирус, и люди не смогли к нам добираться, я впервые в апреле прошлого года провела программу 7-суточного сухого голодания онлайн.
I would never have thought that I will make programs on 7 days dry fasting online, but coronavirus of the pandemic made it corrections and brought this new things to our life. And in April last year, 2020, I made my first online program on 7-day dry fasting with a group.
И на сегодня я провела уже таких 4 программы с 7-суточным сухим голоданием онлайн.
And by now, I've made already 4 online programs with 7 days dry fasting.
Не у всех получилось пройти именно 7 суток, но все равно люди получили опыт. Кто-то 3-суточного, кто-то 5, кто-то потом на интервал перешел. Ну, все мы это подбирали индивидуально с каждым.
Not everyone were able to make exactly 7 days of dry fasting. Some people made 3 days, someone 5 days, someone they made intermittent fasting. But this is very individual, and each program we tried to make individually to a person for their purposes.
И люди ко мне обращаются по нескольким интересующих их направлениям, но всегда это индивидуальный подход, потому что это и разный возраст, и разные проблемы со здоровьем, и то, что человек хочет получить от программы.
People turn to me with different matters, and but in any case and in each case, this is individual approach. I use individual approach because people are of different age, they have different problems, they have different needs, and in each case, we find the approach and the method which will suit best to help a person.
Я еще раз хочу подчеркнуть, что я не врач, и у нас не клиника, у нас школа, в которой я обучаю практике сухого голодания различных сроков.
And I want to make an emphasis, special emphasis, that I'm not a doctor, and it is not a clinic. So our school is not a clinic. It's a school of dry fasting where we teach safe methods and practice of dry fasting.
С какими же вопросами к нам обращаются?
With which questions or with which matters people can turn to us, come to us?
Первое направление, которое для меня самое интересное, и с такими людьми мне работать интереснее всего, это люди, которые хотят духовного самосовершенствования.
So on which questions or with which matters and problems people turn to us? The first, which is most interesting for me, is are people who turn to us in search of some mental and spiritual improvement.
Следующая категория – это люди обращаются в оздоровительных целях, которые имеют какие-то проблемы со здоровьем, имеют медицинские диагнозы, они уже обращались к врачам, но увидели, что это путь тупиковый, решили взять ответственность за себя в свои руки и обратились к нам. То есть разуверились в медицине. Ага, звук отключен.
Sorry, Valentina, unmute yourself. I was muting Sveta, but then by mistake I muted you, please. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Mhm.
So these are people who were diagnosed some medical illnesses, and they tried, in most cases, they tried some traditional medical methods and treatment, but understood that that was the dead end, and they turned to us for help and to improve their state. Да,
Следующая категория – это люди, которые обращаются в профилактических целях. Они не имеют ярко выраженных проблем со здоровьем, но хочу подчеркнуть, они не хотят стареть, они хотят взрослеть комфортно и до последних дней жизни жить в радостном, энергичном состоянии.
The next category are people who turn to us with preventive purpose. So they do not, of course, they are getting aged, older and getting aged, but they want to age in a comfortable way. So, and preserving energy and good health, and stay as long in good health and energy as possible, as long as possible.
Но большинство людей обращаются вот с несколькими запросами, которые все в себя включают: и духовное, и оздоровительное, и профилактическое, и даже вопросы целеполагания и достижения каких-то бизнес-целей.
And quite often, I mean, these are not rare cases, that people turn with all those three kind of questions, or three purposes, which are, as I said, some mental or spiritual cleaning and improvement, health improvement, and the preventive treatment and preventive measures. And sometimes there are people who would like to kind of clarify their goals, kind of big goals in life and in business, and they make their goals clearer and they reach them.
И есть в нашей практике достаточно крупные бизнесмены, которые приезжают только ради этого.
And in our practice, we have quite big, I mean, quite famous and big business people who come exactly with this purpose, and to purify their goals and to keep their business going and growing.
Ну, например, перед человеком стоит какая-то бизнес-задача, и он не совсем четко понимает, как ему выбрать самый оптимальный путь. Он приезжает, и где-то вот с третьего, с четвертого дня у него вот как бы разъясняется в голове, и он этот путь видит самый краткий, самый оптимальный, и таких случаев достаточно много.
So I'll tell you how this works. For example, a person has some business goal, but he doesn't know exactly, has no clear vision how to reach this goal, how to come to it. So he comes for a dry fasting program, and kind of on the third, fourth day of the program of fasting, so to say, his mind gets purified, get cleared, and he sees the most optimal, so the most rational and the best way how the goal can be reached.
И совсем недавно у нас появилось новое направление. Я думала, говорить о нем или нет, и решила все же сказать. И надеюсь, что меня аудитория не побьет за это камнями.
And recently, in our school, a new approach appeared in our school. I was thinking whether to tell you about it, but I decided to tell, and I hope that you will kind of accept this.
Особенно те, кто думает, что через 3 дня без еды и без воды он умрет.
And especially, I hope that people who think that after 3 days without food and water they will die, I hope these people will also accept this approach, which I'm going to tell about.
Новое направление – это те люди, которые хотят перейти на автономный образ жизни, жизнь без еды, воды и сна.
So the new category of people are those who would like to switch to autonomous mode of life, which is life without eating, drinking, and sleeping.
Автономия – это не праноедение, не солнцеедение, это изобилие.
Autonomy or autonomous way of life, it's not prana eating, it's not sun eating, it can be called abundance.
Они говорят, что все, что им необходимо, есть внутри них самих.
These people who practice this approach, this approach, they say that everything they need is inside them.
В те дни, когда автономы не едят и не пьют, они не называют это сухим голоданием.
The days when autonomous people do not drink and eat, they do not call these days as dry fasting.
Потому что голодание – это когда ты себя лишаешь чего-то.
Because fasting is when you take off something, so when you limit yourself in something.
Такой день они называют чистым днем, днем свободы.
These days, when they are not eating and drinking, they call as clean days or days of freedom, free days.
Днем свободы от потребления и от того, что мы потребляем, и потом как бы своими отходами загрязняем землю.
These days are free from consuming, from eating, from consuming anything. And then what we consumed is becoming kind of, so we are, as a fertilizer. So they are free from, adding fertilizers to the earth, where we live.
К сожалению, многие люди сейчас превратили свою жизнь в переработку пищи на удобрение.
It's a pity to admit that many people turned their life into kind of processing food into fertilizers.
Люди сдают себя в рабство на 8 часов рабочего времени, рабочего дня, чтобы зарабатывать деньги на еду, на лекарства и на вещи, которыми они иногда не пользуются много лет или вообще не пользуются.
So the people mostly have kind of 8 hours of jobbing, so working hard in order to earn money just for food, clothes, and things that they will not use for a long time or will never use.
Когда я переезжала из Восточной Украины в Карпаты, когда мы построили центр, я в этом убедилась.
And I proved to myself that I do not need many things when I moved from the eastern part of Ukraine, where we lived, where our family lived, to the Carpathians.
Когда я собирала вещи для переезда, я увидела, что 70% моих всех вещей мне не нужны, уже никогда не пригодятся, и многими из ними я никогда не пользовалась.
So when I gathered things, collected things to move, which I will take with me, so I could clearly see that 70% of things which I have, I do not need them, and I will not need them at the new place, and I will never need them.
Участникам наших программ я предлагаю сделать простые математические действия.
So to the participants of our programs, I usually propose to make just very simple mathematical exercises.
Посчитать, сколько времени уходит у них на сон, на еду и на работу.
I ask them to calculate how much time they spend on eating, work, and sleeping.
В сутках 24 часа.
We all know that there are 24 hours in a day.
Берем по среднему сон 8 часов,
So on average, sleep takes 8 hours,
работа 8 часов,
8 hours work.
путь на работу с работы, примерно 2 часа.
Going to and from work can take about 2 hours.
На еду 3 часа.
3 hours to eat, so eating, making food.
Ее нужно купить, подготовить, приготовить, покушать, потом помыть посуду, убрать за собой.
Why I say 3 hours? It's because you have to buy food, you have to cook it, then you eat, then you wash dishes.
И сколько же у нас остается времени на себя, на семью, для своих друзей? 3 часа.
All over, if you calculate, summarize numbers that I named, you will see that we have just 3 hours for ourselves and for our family.
Поэтому можно понять автономов, которые счастливы от свободы и живут без еды, воды и сна.
So now you may understand, I mean, easier to understand the autonomous people who are happy to have more time for themselves, for their family, for their hobbies, for their life.
Кстати, хорошая новость. Люди, которые с регулярностью практикуют сухое голодание, у них тоже количество сна существенно уменьшается, и они высыпаются.
Good news about dry fasting. So those people who practice dry fasting regularly, they notice that they can sleep less, but they sleep well.
У нас был такой интересный случай, но я никого к этому не призываю, конечно.
We had an interesting case. It is not the time asking you just follow this case, but just I would like to share it.
Один мужчина после программы мне позвонил и сказал: Анна, я прозрел.
One man who participated in our program, so after the program, sometime after, he called me and said, Anna, I kind of have an insight.
Открылись глаза.
Yeah, I have an insight, so I now can see clearly that.
Это очень состоятельный мужчина, у него там много домов, много машин, много всего, и вдруг он говорит: я понял, что все, мне это ничего не надо, и этим пользуются все, кроме меня.
I could clearly see that things that I have, that I own, this man, and he's a quite wealthy person, and he owned houses, businesses, cars, so like that. So he's a well-off man, and he said, I could clearly see that everyone else, my family and everyone else uses this, but not me.
Я вдруг понял, что мне для жизни необходимо 3 футболки, 3 шортов, 3 брюк, компьютер и телефон.
I just understood that to have a happy life, I just need 3 t-shirts, a backpack, and a smartphone, and just a pair of shorts.
Не буду рассказывать подробности, но человек круто поменял свою жизнь, и теперь он путешествует по всему миру, там каждые 2 месяца меняет страну, живет счастливо и в радости для себя.
I will not go into any more details. I will just say that this man, he changed his life radically, and he now travels, so he can afford this. He travels and he changes a country each 2 months, and he's very happy, and he lives for himself.
Что я хотела вам сказать? Некоторые важные вещи для тех, кто хочет практиковать длительное сухое голодание больше 3 суток.
There are important things which I would like to share with you about dry fasting, especially for those who who think of practicing longer periods of dry fasting.
Я сейчас буду говорить более коротко, потому что, уже смотрю, 45 минут прошло, тезисно. Если будет интересно, мы в следующих встречах более широко раскроем интересующие вопросы.
So now I will speak about these points, about things, important things I'd like to share, and this will be short And if you would like to know more on some of these points, we can meet, we can have more meetings.
Перед тем, как практиковать длительное сухое голодание, очень важно иметь теоретические знания, которые можно самому там читать, смотреть или пройти онлайн-обучение в нашей школе.
Before practicing longer periods of dry fasting, it is very important to have certain theoretical knowledge, so theoretical basis, which you can read about or you can pass a special education, special program.
Опыт голодания предварительный желателен, но не обязателен.
Preliminary experience of dry fasting kind of is desirable, but not obligatory.
Конечно, когда человек постепенно идет с 36-часового голодания и постепенно наращивает сроки, ему становится все более понятным, и его подсознание не бунтует, нет страха.
Of course, it is clear that if someone moves gradually, step by step, from 36-hour dry fasting to longer periods of dry fasting, he's doing this. This is easier for him or for her. His consciousness accepts this smoother, in a more smooth way.
Очень важна предварительная подготовка, и когда к нам люди приходят на 7-суточное голодание, это 21 день. То есть количество дней голодания мы умножаем на 3.
The first very important thing is preliminary practice or preliminary preparation before the dry fasting. Before a 7-day dry fasting, 21-day preliminary preparation is needed. So how this is calculated? You multiply number of fasting days to 3. So 7 by 3 makes 21 day of preliminaries.
Точно так же рассчитывается и восстановительный период. 7 дней голодания умножаем на 3, это 21 день.
In the same way, the period which is after the dry fasting is calculated. So number of fasting days multiplied by 3, and these are days that go after.
Мы предлагаем людям противопаразитарную практику на подготовительном периоде, во время самой программы и на восстановительном периоде.
Now we offer people who pass our programs antiparasitic treatment during the preliminary period, during the fasting program, and during the restorative period.
Всемирная организация здравоохранения подтверждает, что 80% заболеваний имеют противопаразитарные причины, то есть вирусы, бактерии, грибы, ну и так далее.
According to the World Health Organization, 80% of diseases are caused by different types of parasites, by viruses, bacteria, вирусы, бактерии, что еще? Извини.
Грибы, плесень.
Окей, сейчас не вспомню, извини.
Да. Может, Оля подскажет?
Грибы. Ну, не те, конечно, потому что это
не Фредерик, включи
фунгус. Фунгус.
Фангус.
И
mold.
Да, зачем это надо? Зачем нужна противопаразитарная практика?
So why antiparasitic practice is needed?
Патогенная микрофлора, которая находится в нашем организме, если не делать противопаразитарную практику, она во время сухого голодания капсулируется и ждет подходящего момента.
So the reason why antiparasitic practice and treatment is needed. Pathogenic flora, which is inside our intestines, so inside us, during the fasting, it is kind of capsules itself and then waits for better conditions to revive again, so to start again.
А подходящий момент — это стресс, там промочили ноги, там ну или что-то другое.
And the good conditions for this pathogenic microflora to burst, kind of to start its activity, is some kind. It's any kind of stress, or even some such minor things as kind of getting cold outside.
И так, если говорить прямо, то в это время капсула раскрывается, и вот эти гады, паразиты, они просто начинают нас изнутри поедать, жрать, грубо говоря.
So what happens when these conditions come? The capsule with parasites open, and they start so even we can say it like this: they start eating us from inside.
Кстати, если люди не делают противопаразитарную практику, а переходят на вегетарианство, сыроедение, их ожидает то же самое. Просто вся эта патогенная микрофлора, она капсулируется, прячется и ждет подходящего момента. И когда люди говорят о срывах, мне ни с того ни с сего захотелось там чего-то мясного, там, то, чего я не ел много лет. Это вот как раз наши друзья, так сказать, меньшие, из капсулы вышли наружу и говорят «hello».
Same thing happens when people switch to vegetarian diet and to raw diet. The parasites, if they are not treated, so in these new conditions, they are capsules, so they go to close into capsules and wait for the good conditions. Once they come, they go out, and vegetarians can call these things like a disruption. Oh, suddenly I want to eat meat, or suddenly I want something sweet. It's not suddenly I want something. These are those small parasites who kind of released themselves, and they started their activity inside.
Паразиты у нас есть везде, и в глазах, и в волосах, и даже в костях, и на теле. Ну, сегодня больше не буду пугать.
We have those parasites everywhere, nominally everywhere. They are in our eyes, in our hair, in our bones, on our skin. Just let's stop here. That's enough. We really have them everywhere.
Идем дальше. Для длительного голодания, чтобы его пройти до конца, очень важна мотивация.
So now moving further to the next point. To be able to go through a long period of dry fasting, motivation plays a very important role.
Большую важность имеет экологически чистое место, потому что те, кто пробовали делать практику в городе, они знают, что где-то с третьих суток начинаешь задыхаться от запаха бензина, ну, там кто-то курит, от всех этих запахов посторонних.
Very important. It is very important. So when you are on dry fasting, to stay or to pass it in some ecologically clean place, because people who were on dry fasting and stayed in cities, they can tell that on the third, fourth day, it is almost unbearable to stay in the city, because you kind of cannot breathe because of petrol, because of all those smells, bad air, and all that.
Очень важна группа единомышленников, потому что если рядом там, начинают вас пугать или бояться, что вот у тебя третий день, там начинают тебе там говорить хватит, бросай, выходи, тебе будет сложно продолжать в такой обстановке.
Another very important thing is to be among like-minded people. And why they play such an important role? Because on some day, at some point, when people around you see what you are doing, they can start telling you, oh, stop what you are doing. So it is very important to be beside people who will support you on this way.
Очень важна двигательная активность.
And it's very next important thing is moving. So how much you move.
На наших программах мы предлагаем прогулки с проводником.
During our programs, we always make quite long trips with a guide.
Различные гимнастики.
Different types of physical exercise.
Прежде всего это суставная гимнастика, дыхательная практика.
First of all, this is exercise for the joints and breathing exercise.
Терапевтическая йога.
Therapeutical yoga.
Соматические упражнения на проработку болевых синдромов в теле.
And somatic exercise to work through the painful places in your body.
И я хочу подчеркнуть сейчас, что для меня очень важно, чтобы вы после прохождения нашей программы поменяли вашу жизнь.
And it is the most important thing for me is that to see and to know that people after our programs they change their life.
И подобрали для себя оптимальный вариант практики.
And are able to select, to choose the best suitable and comfortable way to practice further.
Подход, что делаете все, что хотите, и приезжайте к нам потом поголодать раз в год или 2 раза в год. Это не мой подход.
This is not my approach. I do not call it as my approach. When people come for a dry fasting program, then they can go and do whatever they want and come again once a year. Just so coming once a year for a dry fasting program, it's not the approach that I use.
Я считаю, что моя работа проведена квалифицированно, если вы подобрали для себя удобную практику и продолжаете практиковать в дальнейшей жизни.
I consider my job done when you are able, with my help, so when you are able to select the most comfortable practice that you will do for a long time, so regularly, and that in this way you change your life.
Вачка, спроси, пожалуйста, у Фредрика, уже час прошел, я не учла, что это с переводом, и он не будет против, что мы продолжим?
Frederick, a question to you. So Anna asks, we of course can see that 1 hour is coming to an end. So do you mind if we stay a little longer? So if the audience doesn't mind, of course, to our guests, because I mean, yeah, with the translator, it's a bit longer than we expected. What would you say?
Yeah. We want to hear your story. I want to hear a story. Everybody's saying like this. People like, if we can see them up there.
Okay, yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frederick. Анна, пожалуйста, продолжайте. Мы очень хотим услышать дальше вашу историю и важные, интересные вещи, которыми вы делитесь.
Остальным-то интересно или нет? Можно у них спросить?
Frederick, maybe you ask our audience, so people who are present, so whether it is interesting to them. So are they interested to listen?
Okay, everybody, please unmute yourself. You say if you feel we should go on, because there are promises. There are 2 things when she was starting that you are waiting to hear. But I will about the testimony or about the what happened with these people who have gone through this program, like Valentina here and Olga the other side. So, what do you think, you people? Do we continue or we stop? Because it was a suggestion now.
Continue.
Продолжаем. So what people say in the chat. Very interesting. Thank you.
Yep,
очень интересно.
Надеюсь, я не напугала паразитами и автономией.
Anna saying, so I hope I just didn't, you are not scared with my recent speech about the parasites and previously talking about autonomy approach. But this is very interesting. I hope it was useful for you.
Very, very useful, very useful. I'm really thankful that I even myself, I'm attending this meeting.
Все очень полезно. Предлагаю продолжать,
А
чтобы
то я-
тоже не занимать время. Ага.
А то я замечаю, что я так серьезно все вещаю, с таким серьезным видом.
So this was also kind a way kind of to waken you up a little bit, because Anna said, I can see that I'm talking to you with a very serious face, you know.
Итак,
Okay, we go on. Mhm.
Итак,
Okay.
я буду чуть-чуть быстрее говорить, Валя. Итак,
Да. Мгм.
я хотела еще раз акцентировать, что прежде всего мне интересно работать с теми людьми, кто идет по пути духовного самосовершенствования.
Mhm. I should say that it is very interesting for me and very important for me to work with those people who are going in the way and would like to move on the way of mental and spiritual improvement.
И таким людям мы предлагаем пройти программу голодания 7 суток в безмолвии.
And for those people, we offer to pass the dry fasting program in silence, so without speaking.
Конечно, это не безмолвие в таком чистом виде, потому что, когда мы собираемся на лекции, я открываю пространство, и человек может задать вопросы по практике, которые его интересуют.
So it is not like completely being silent completely, and it's not the purpose. For example, when we have meetings, I speak, so these are lectures on dry fasting and diet, and I kind of open the space, and people, of course, those people can ask questions on the practice.
И, конечно, безмолвие – это не только прекратить разговор.
And it should be noted that keeping silence is not just stop speaking.
Это мы не разговариваем при помощи переписки.
This means stop communicating in writing.
Мы не разговариваем и ничего не изображаем, то есть какими-то знаками.
We're not communicated with the help of gestures, you know, and not trying to tell to another person something with our gestures, body language.
Задача такого человека добиться внутренней тишины и остановить болталку.
The main goal, so if people are keeping silent during the program, so the main goal is to stop this very our speaking inside, so our mind, which is very active and talking all the time.
И человек, который никогда этого не пробовал, не поймет меня.
And I think that those people who never tried this, it will be difficult for them to understand me, what I mean.
Более понятно это людям, которые, возможно, из присутствующих кто-то проходил 10-дневную практику випассаны.
And of course, I believe that it will be clear what I'm talking about to people, if there are such people among those present who passed the 10-day Vipassana program.
Когда я проходила эту программу в ретритном центре в Германии, хотя эта программа сейчас проводится во многих странах мира, я на 3-й день очень горько плакала.
When I was on this program in Germany, in retreat center, now these Vipassana programs are held in many countries and in Ukraine as well, but not so long ago, so I had to go to Germany. So, and on the 3rd day of Vipassana, I was crying.
Я вдруг поняла, что даже в течение 1 минуты мой ум не находится в тишине.
I was kind of amazed, surprised, so to say, to understand and to see that even for a minute, my mind cannot stop.
Стоит немного зазеваться, и уже твои мысли в прошлом.
So if I just stop to focus, to keep this focus, then I can see that my thoughts are somewhere in the past, for example.
Или ты уже в будущем о чем-то мечтаешь, что-то планируешь.
Or you are in your thoughts somewhere in the future, dreaming about something.
И, как я говорю, буквально за 1 минуту у тебя уже в голове 10-я серия Санты-Барбары. Так все быстро в голове развивается.
And as I say, like in 1 minute, you are watching in your mind the 10th episode of Santa Barbara, this famous in our Russian-speaking countries TV series, which lasted, we thought, forever. so many episodes.
Конечно, с любым человеком, даже который приехал не с целью духовного самосовершенствования, происходит ментальное и эмоциональное очищение.
I should say that with any person who comes to dry fasting programs, there happens some kind of purification, mental purification, not only body, but mental purification as well.
Участники наших программ говорят, что у них ощущение, как вроде они находятся в детстве, и за ними ухаживает их мама.
Participants of our programs used to say that they have a feeling that they are kind of appeared, they are a kid again, and being a small kid, they feel like their mother is looking after them.
Потому что все заботы мы берем на себя и говорим человеку: отдай нам все свои заботы, займись собой эти 7 дней.
Because all things that can disturb you, all troubles, and we take to ourselves. And so the people do not, participants of our program, they do not have to do anything. And we tell them, please leave all the troubles to ourselves, leave all care to ourselves, and just dedicate these days to you.
Сейчас у людей в ежедневной жизни это безумная гонка, они крутятся как белки в колесе и не имеют ни секунды времени, чтобы заняться собой.
Our life, so look what our daily life is like. Sometimes we can see ourselves like a squirrels in a wheel, running and all day long, and we don't have even a minute to take care about ourselves.
Я говорю людям: я хочу подарить вам лучшие 7 дней вашей жизни. Вы 24 часа, 7 дней можете посвятить себе.
What I say to our participants, to people who come. So I would like to give you the best 7 days in your life. Each hour, each minute of those 7 days you can dedicate to yourself.
И те люди, которые целенаправленно с этим работают, они могут получить очень, так сказать, великие результаты.
And those who use those days, so this period, to the maximum, they can get brilliant results.
В самом начале нашей практики, когда школа начала только работать, один мужчина после 7 суток сухого голодания подошел ко мне и обнял меня и начал горько плакать. Испугал меня, я испугалась.
In some first years of when our school started, I can remember a man who came to me after this 7-day dry fasting. He came to me, like hugged me and started crying. And I was kind of a bit frightened even. So he started crying.
Он был первым, кто проходил у нас программу безмолвия и сказал, что за это время, ему там или 42 было, или 43, он пересмотрел всю свою жизнь.
He was the first person who spent those 7 days in silent, so being silent. And he said that during these days, he reviewed his whole life.
Очень важно, когда у тебя начинают всплывать какие-то воспоминания, что-то забытое, то, что мы очень далеко внутрь себя запрятали и не хотим об этом вспоминать, не начать раздражаться, обижаться, а начать это прорабатывать.
It is very important that when you start having those memories and when you review your life, you start having memories, they arise. And it's important not to get irritated, not to get offended to everyone and everything, but start working with these things, with your memories, and work them through.
Многие люди не хотят смотреть вглубь себя и постоянно ищут виноватых.
Many people do not want to look into yourself, and they tend to search guilty, so to find guilty people around them.
У них всегда есть оправдание.
No, and such people usually kind of tend to blame others, but not themselves.
Всегда кто-то виноват. Муж, жена, теща, президент, погода.
There is, as you know, there is always someone you can blame. So it's a husband or wife, it's a president of your country, it's a weather outside. Many things and people to blame.
Во время программы, особенно если ты ее проходишь в безмолвии, у тебя есть возможность поработать с внутренней честностью и сказать правду самому себе.
If during the program, and especially if you are passing it in silence, so you have time to work with your internal integrity or your internal fairness, honesty, and to be honest to yourself.
Ведь мы иногда не отдаем себе отчет, что даже когда мы откровенно не лжем, мы немножко преувеличиваем, немножко недоговариваем. И есть возможность просмотреть эти нюансы именно во время голодания. На это есть время.
During dry fasting, you have time to work on minor things, not just big ones, but minor things. For example, if we are being honest and sincere and open person all the time, and we think that we're speaking truth, but we may overlook some very, very minor things when we tell kind of what we call small lies, and or we exaggerate something to a little extent. And this is the time that you have to work on these things as well.
И так как ты эти 7 дней, тебе никуда не надо спешить, тебе не надо еду готовить. Мы полностью заботимся о человеке. С каждым днем он идет все глубже и глубже, с него начинает слетать вот эта шелуха, и он начинает добираться до больших таких глубин своего подсознания.
So, and as I said, during those 7 days, 7 days fasting programs are longer. So we take all the care on ourselves. People do not have to cook food or to do anything. And they have time to kind of clean themselves from this outer peel, so everything they have which is not necessary, and go deeper inside themselves.
Кстати, некоторым людям иногда снятся вещи сны.
Так, сейчас я посмотрю.
Может, Ольга подскажет.
Как будет вещи сон? Prophetic dreams. Okay. kind of, or quite often, people say that they have prophetic dreams during our programs, fasting programs.
Но об этом подробнее в следующий раз, если мы будем встречаться.
Let's leave these details to our further meeting if we happen to meet again. And now,
И часто еще задают вопрос о сверхспособностях, там, ясновидения, яснослышания.
And quite often there are questions about some supernatural abilities, like second or clear vision. So is there a clear vision that can appear as a result of dry fasting?
Я всегда людям задаю вопрос. Хорошенько подумайте, вам это надо?
And I always ask, so if a person is asking such a question, I tell and respond, so do you really think you need this?
Что вы будете с этим делать?
What are you going to do with this?
Вы идете по улице, и вдруг вы видите в каждом человеке, какие у него проблемы с его внутренними органами.
For example, you go in the street and you can clearly see in each person, so what are his inner problems with his body?
Вам это надо?
Do you really think you need this?
Или вы слышите все, о чем человек думает? Вам это надо?
Or imagine you can hear everything that a person is thinking about. You really need this? Want this?
Займитесь собой и своей жизнью. Это гораздо важнее.
It is much more important to take care about yourself and your life.
У нас одна женщина в ужасе была, когда у нее открылось спонтанное ясновидение, и от того, что она видит, и она молилась к Богу, она верующий человек, чтобы он у нее забрал эту способность, она ей не нужна. Она ей не нужна.
We had a case I'd like just to share, to give as an example. We had a woman in one of our programs who had clear vision, whose clear vision opened as a result, and things that she started to see, and she was so scared and she was so overwhelmed with this that she prayed to take this away. She didn't need this. She didn't want this.
Всем участникам наших программ я говорю такие важные слова.
To each participant of our programs, I say such things.
Позвольте себе быть собой, без притворства, честными.
Allow yourself to be yourself and to be honest with yourself without any pretense.
Позвольте другим людям быть другими, какими они хотят.
Allow other people be themselves as well in the way they want to be.
Не сравнивайте себя ни с кем.
Do not compare yourself with anyone else.
Ваша жизнь единственная. Никогда в жизни не было такого человека, как вы, с момента сотворения Вселенной. И никогда не будет такого, как вы.
Your life is absolutely precious and unique. There has never been before anyone like you, and there will never be anyone like you after.
Многие забывают, что наша жизнь конечна. И когда придет этот конец, не знает никто.
People tend to forget that our life comes to an end. And the bad thing is that we don't know when the end comes.
Так позвольте себе жить радостной и счастливой жизнью. И поверьте, сухое голодание вам поможет в этом.
And that is why allow yourself to live a happy and joyful life. And dry fasting is a thing that can help you on this way.
По крайней мере, эти чистые дни, свободные от еды, воды и от разных забот, вам дадут такую возможность.
At least those clean days without eating, drinking, cooking, and without all these things that connected with this eating, cooking, will free your time for other things.
Я еще хотела поговорить о различных примерах, о типичных ошибках, о часто задаваемых вопросах, но уже у нас 20 минут, и я предлагаю на этом сказать стоп и дать слово Валентине и Ольге. И, как мы договаривались, если участникам интересно, говорите об этом Фредерику, и мы договоримся, как жить дальше.
I wanted to tell also about main mistakes which are made during dry fasting. About, господи, кроме ошибок, что еще? Об ошибках?
Примеры, типичные ошибки, часто задаваемые вопросы.
Typical mistakes, mainly mostly asked questions. And most important things that people should observe during dry fasting. But I see that it's already an hour and 20 minutes that we are speaking already. We are having our meeting. So I think I will leave these questions to other time if we have another meeting. And I would like to give floor to Valentina and Olga for them to share their own experience.
О практике сухого голодания могу говорить бесконечно, меня не остановить. Вот, поэтому предлагаю дать слово тебе, Валя.
So, speaking about myself, I can talk about dry fasting practice kind of without non-stop. So I really have to stop and would like to give word to Valentina. Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Ну, я надеюсь, мне еще в конце Фредерик даст пару минут.
I just hope, and I kindly ask Frederick just to give me 2 minutes in the end, and that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much. You've enjoyed this talk.
Спасибо большое, Анна. Очень понравилось то, о чем вы рассказывали. So I will try not to keep your attention for long. Anna asked me to share my own experience because it's always good to share to see a person who passed himself the programs and which result they have. So I came in 2019. I came to Anna's center in the Carpathians for the 7 days dry fasting program. Actually, the program itself takes 12 days because in the center you have 3 days preparation period and the 7-day dry fasting. And then the restorative, so you start to restore. So this coming out from dry fasting, also first days happen in the center because it is very important to make them correctly, to do this in a correct way. It's kind of the basics of your future state, how you will feel yourself further on after the fasting. So I came with a particular problem, I mean, a health problem, which I had. I had a cyst, and which kind of bothered me. And also at some point, I felt I really needed some mental reload. As Anna said, she said really like kind of about me. I needed time when I could stop and dedicate this time to review my place in life, the goals that I have, and kind of purify these goals. And all this happened actually, yeah. But further about this. So I should say that it was a little bit maybe scary if I am able to how it will be possible to pass 7 days, but it was very important. First, Anna, who I was very supportive, and the examples she gave were very motivating. And second most important things were people around you. There is always a small group in the center, kind of from 7 to 10 people, 8-10 people. The group and the support of people around you is very important. I mean, extremely important. So when you see that people doing the same, when you see how they overcome the problems they have, when you yourself support them, it helps you a lot. So you pass. It is much easier to pass the first time, especially when you're the first time on a long period of dry fasting. And I should say that after the dry fasting, I should say that not dry fasting itself, those 7 days were difficult for me. Actually not. They were not very difficult. Not as difficult as I expected. It was more difficult to keep the period of preparation period and this restorative period, because it's 21 days, as Anna said. We multiply to calculate how many days you need to prepare and how many days you need to come out. It's the number of days of fasting multiplied by 3. And there is a special diet which you have to keep, especially after, because your whole body is kind of, you feel you are renovated. You feel like you are kind of, your body is like reloaded. But this is, you feel kind of on the 10th day. As they say, and this is really true, on the 10th day after the dry fasting, I felt extreme energy. Like so much energy which I never had before. And this was not kind of, this was for 1 day and then it stopped. It was further on. So that was the new feeling which I gained. And this is very absolutely amazing feeling of clean. I never had this feeling. You feel like you are clean inside. And it seems you can fly. But okay, but to this experience, people in the group, I mean, it was, for someone it was more difficult, for someone less. And I should say that the group I was with, we all managed to have 7 days of fasting. That was amazing. I mean, that was very good to see that everyone came from beginning to end, and that was wonderful. After that, so I felt this experience makes you want to continue. But I wanted to continue on my own, I mean, to have more knowledge. And I joined when I saw that Anna, yes, after with this pandemic, but still that I saw that Anna is making an online program last year. So this is summer in June 2020. I joined her online program of 7 days fasting. So I was at home, and everything was going online. Again, the same 21 days of preparation and the restorative. And Anna made a special group who were on this program in Facebook online. And she shared a lot of useful materials. I mean, and I could listen to lectures. I could make on my own. I mean, in my own mode when it was comfortable in comfortable time. I could do physical exercises, and now it's kind of a baggage that I have. So this knowledge, and I managed to fast on my own for 6 days. just that's why I said that it was I was alone, and it's what kind of even started boring. So I could do 7, but I kind of just if there was some people around, like in a group, I could do more. But I stopped on 6, and that was again, same amazing experience and feeling of being clean. And after that, I went to medical screening, and after some times, not right after this second fasting, I went to medical screening, and the problem with which I came, it's disappeared. And I now practice quite regularly. I practice 1 day 36-hour fasting a week. So this free day, it's really, I try to call it free day. So I'm not saying to myself, I limit myself from something. No, I say, oh, free day. I do not have to, I will have more time. And I joined a group. We went this autumn, autumn last year, but not so long ago, in this not far from Kiev, arranged a 3-day kind of long weekend with 36 dry fasting program, and I joined this group as well. And again, it was good to know more things, because during this program, Anna went deeper into diet, and she talked a lot about this, and there were useful things to know about raw diet, smoothie. We practiced doing them, and things like that. So after this, Anna turned to me. I mean, she knew that, she knows that I speak English, and as I already was kind of in the topic, so I understand what she's talking about, and I can translate this more or less correctly. Not just a person who doesn't know even maybe what is dry fasting, kind of. So she asked if I could help her with from time to time with translations, if interpretation, if for people who have online consultations. I agreed, and we from that time we have we make online consultations quite regularly, and early autumn last year, we had a woman from Switzerland who had 5-day fasting made online with Anna's support, and with consultations, big ones, small ones during the period. And she managed to do this perfectly, and the restorative period, I mean, and that was amazing for me, even to see kind of, to support a person doing this in a right way. It was very, very good. So online now everything is possible, and Olga Winzenried will prove this on her own example. And I'm glad to give a word to Olga, who will speak about her kind of amazing results, I would say.
Valentina, just 1 minute. There's a question just for you from a person called Maria. She says, did you have any experience dry fasting before doing the 7-day retreat?
Thank you, Maria. I see your question. Thank you. No, I had no experience in fasting. Kind of to correct myself, to be precise, I tried 1 day of dry fasting, but I did it in absolutely wrong way. Yes, I just was kind of reading and something, and I thought, oh, it's so easy maybe. And I did it in the wrong way. So I thought, oh, okay, I will make 1 day on water, and 2nd day I will do on fasting. On the 2nd day of dry fasting, I had a terrible headache, and I was feeling so badly that I stopped. That is why kind of I was a little bit scared how it will go. But Anna says, I mean, it is very important that she puts much emphasis on this preparation period, which plays important role in preparing your body, in cleaning your body to the extent that when you on dry fasting, you do not experience much pain. I mean, you can have terrible headaches, for example. You do not experience much of the problem that may happen if you make your preparation period badly or in the wrong way. So you have to get prepared. But this one day, I mean, not even one day, this half of a day, cannot be called a preliminary experience. So no. You're welcome, Maria. I think, yeah, Olga. Welcome. Olga, you have, yeah.
Okay, now I am here. Okay, yeah. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for giving me such a good opportunity to be part of your meeting and share my experience with you. Thanks, Frederick, and thanks, Anna. And I would like to tell just a few words about myself. So my name is Olga Vinzenrit, you know already, and I'm 68 years old. I'm from Russia originally, but I'm living here in America. So I am on a raw food diet. They call it diet, but I cannot say it's a diet. I think it's a natural way. When I say on a raw food, I don't mean it's 100 raw food. It's probably 90%, 95%. In the summertime, I'm fully on a raw food because I have a huge organic garden. Our family has huge organic garden. So I tried autonomy, like we touched this subject a little bit. I tried that a little bit, but it's not the topic of our talking right now, so I'm not gonna spend time on that. So by my education, I graduated from a university in Russia, and I'm expert with food. So I know all technology, all stuff like that. And currently I'm on my last courses of Cornell University with the program Nutrition and Healthy Living. And I would be graduated in 1 month. And when I would be graduated after that, I'm jumping to another program because cancer touched my family really very deeply. We have tragedies, so I learn a lot about cancer. So I will continue my learning with a special program so that be certified, have a certificate with that. Yeah. So now I'm founder and leader of two-phase group. A few of them in Russian, but I'm telling about in English, the program in English. One it's about general health, and another one about cancer. So how that started? I tried to have a healthy style of life. It was my understanding of that, but I saw that something is missing, and I don't feel as good as I would like to. So what was wrong with me? I had horrible headache. Telling horrible, I can tell you, it was every other day severe, very severe headache. I could not function. I could do nothing. It was really very bad. So I learned a lot about how to fix this problem. I went to doctors and I tried lots of everything: chiropractor, Atlas balancing, and I was eating by blood pressure. Blood type diet. Nothing helped. Nothing. I I spent lots of months trying each of the stuff. I could not get a result. And it was, how I say right now, one lucky day, I have heard something about Anna. I decided to learn more about that because I never heard about dry fasting. All what I heard before, it was about water fasting, and I even did not try it, never ever. So I was on some webinar when Anna presented her program, and it became so interesting for me and so unique. And I was thinking, okay, I tried lots of stuff. I was not successful. I would like to try this one because all benefits, what she told about, I just felt it would be right. This program would be right for me. So but I was really scared because I had a horrible headache, and I was in the worry, okay, if my headache would be like that, could I continue fasting? Because I knew that it would be detoxification problem, and it will add something more, and toxin will go to the blood, and then again I would have a headache. So I started to ask Anna, please take me for individual program, because I'm not sure I can do that, but I want it. I was really very well motivated with that. And it was a time when Anna did not have such kind of service, but probably I was asking her so intensively that she told, okay. And I'm so happy I took her program, because what I realized, you need to be prepared for fasting. When you are fasting, especially dry fasting, what speed up all process in your body, then you need to prepare all your elimination channels so that all toxins have a way to go out. So Anna prepared me really very well. And I made 3 days dry fasting, and it was so interesting. I had such a great experience. First day, it was so smooth, so easy. Next day, I had not so good mood, and I was crying. And I realized it was some emotional cleansing. But imagine, on the 3rd day, I had such a big energy, such great energy. My husband was surprised, and he told, for 1 day, you did on your garden what you were doing for a whole week. So much energy I had from that. Okay, so I start regularly fasting 1 day, 36 hours a week, and 3 days in 1 month. I was on this schedule for probably about 2 years, and I was so inspired of that. I had my mom at home. My mom is 92 years old, and she had lots of problems when I brought her here, and most problem we solved with raw diet, with vegan diet she started to do. But we could do nothing with her blood pressure. Her normal blood pressure was 160, sometimes 170, but sometimes she had over than 200, even 220, and it was so scared. And she started to take pills, medicine, and we weren't happy with this result, because after pills, her blood pressure dropped to 60/40. It was really very scared. One day I thought I will lose her. Okay, so I decided to try with mom. I told nothing to Anna. because to tell somebody you are gonna try fasting, dry fasting with person who even did not hear about that before, not to try, of course. So we started. It was in December. So I did not tell, but it was fall of 2015. So it was 6 years ago. So it was on December when I started to try with mom. We stopped all pills right away. In January, her blood pressure became normal. We were so happy with this result because we tried a lot, but we did not have any result. And in 1 month, her blood pressure became very good. And we continued till March. And then we relaxed a little bit. So good, so well, everything. And she stopped dry fasting. And her blood pressure gradually started to rise. So, but now we knew what we should do. So she continued her dry fasting. And she was on this dry fasting for 2 years completely. Each week, 36 hours, one day for 36 hours a week. So now my mom is 96. In a couple of months, she will be 97. And imagine her blood pressure stay well. She is not doing dry fasting anymore, but for next 3 years she was on an intermediate fasting. So she was eating at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. and that's it. So and nurse coming to her every week to check if everything is okay, and nurse is always surprised. No any pain, no any drugs, nothing. And I shared this result in a YouTube, like a small interview with mom, and it was so interesting. We saw lots of viewers of that, and people say very nice comments. So because I'm living in America, and because I was really very interested about healthy style of life, I started to learn about that more and deeper. And during all this individual work with Anna, it was, I think, for 8 months, we developed a really very good relationship, and we became good friends. So I shared with her what I learned. Anna shared all information what she had, and it was a great information what helped me. So she invited me to be an expert in her school, and it was a time when I was just full of all this information, and I was very happy to share with people. So I accepted her proposal to be an expert, and now it's already 3rd year. And what I'm speaking on her program, it's about nutrition, importance of nutrition, because see, what I realized for all those my learning and my own experience with my mom, that it's a full program. Anna told about that already. So it's not only about fasting and detoxification, it's working with your mind and exercises and lots of stuff. You need you need to manage your stress level also, and everything in the Anna program right now. So I'm very glad that I met Anna one day, and she mentioned already, she told that for her it's really very important when she can touch somebody and change his life. It happened to me. I'm very thankful to her that she changed my life. I could not come to her on her program because I cannot leave my mom. She doesn't speak English. My husband, he's American. They cannot talk to each other. But I did everything online. And like an expert, I attend all her program also, and I'm fasting with the group of the people there. So now I can fast longer time. I was fasting 4 days, then 5 days, then 7, and the highest number it was 8 days. And during that, I was so surprised. See, I had 2 lipomas here on my arms here for many years, probably for 20 years. They were here. One day I was walking, I touched something, I see, I don't feel it. I touch another hands. No, it disappeared. See the result of, see the power of fasting. If body has something that don't belong to it, it will get rid of that. It happened, and I can prove it. Many people surprised that cancer are gone before they are fasting. Yes, of course, I understand that. Also, see, when I tell that it's a program, it's very important when you cleanse your body, you need to put right nutrients to that. And many people ignore that. It's only because they don't know the information. The right nutrition are very important. Being a gardener, I know if I clean a vegetable bed, I need to put right seeds there right away. Otherwise, weeds will take over. So the importance of vitamins, it's very important because many diseases, and I know that because I'm helping people with very bad diseases and with cancer, for example, when they come to me, first I'm asking them about stress level, diet, and vitamin D. All people who had have a cancer, they are very low on vitamin D. And doctors tell that normal would be 35, 40 nanogram to milligram. No, it's when cancer could start. It should be 60 or even 80. The same with vitamin C. And with all this coronavirus stuff, what hit China very badly, when things started to be better, when they started to make huge doses vitamin C to people, they start to recover. Before that, it was many deaths in this country. So it's really very important. And it's also proved CQ10. They proved that it's really very good and beneficial for your heart. And if you do not want to have a dementia, for example, you need to take niacin. It's a vitamin B3. It's also proved, and it's proved many years ago. I just surprised why this information, why people do not know this information. Nobody tells them. They could not see that on the TV because they advertise only some drugs there and not healthy food, by the way. So if people kind of pay attention to vitamins, but they completely ignore minerals. But I could just tell you in one summit, I heard one doctor told that 37 trillions different reaction goes in your body. No one reaction will go right if you do not have minerals. I was listening one day. It's very good doctor, naturopathic doctor Peter Glidden here, and he told again about information. See, he told exactly, if every mother would know about the importance of selenium, her daughter would never meet a cancer in her life. So you need to give your daughter selenium. And if people still think that we can have selenium from Brazil nuts, I could say no, because I saw this map, how soil is depleted. Yes, yes, we can see that vegetables has vitamins, minerals, but soil is depleted. And if you do not have it in a soil, you do not have in plants or vegetables, you do not have in your body. Plus, add here that all those vegetables, they travel a long way. During this time, they are losing their nutrients. Plus, we are cooking, we are killing.
Оля,
Okay, we are killing everything. So yeah, like Anna told, I could talk about that.
Ольга тоже может говорить бесконечно.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's I'm so passionate to this subject, and again, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm so happy to share my information with people, because like I told, information is everything. You should know, and you should prevent, you can easily prevent a disease, but when disease is already present, it's really very difficult to fix yourself. I wish everybody be healthy and be good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Олечка, я тебе очень благодарна. Я знаю, что ты тоже можешь бесконечно делиться той полезной информацией, которой ты владеешь, как эксперт нашей школы. Валя, Валентина. Валя.
Anna, so I will translate for Anna. Olga, thank you so much for the very interesting and valuable things that you shared. And I know that you, as an expert in the things that you do and that you study, you can also speak long about them. Any expert can speak kind of long about things he knows well. Thank you so much.
Эксперты нашей школы, они такие, по своему направлению могут говорить бесконечно.
Yes, so experts of our school, they are like this. And so in the direction, in the sphere they work with, they can talk endlessly, yeah, because they are really experts.
И Ольга самый ценный эксперт в моей школе, потому что она владеет и русским языком, и английским, и она ищет информацию и дает ту информацию, которую просто нет на русскоязычном пространстве.
Olga is a very valuable, one of the most valuable experts in our school because, okay, yes, she knows both English and Russian, and she studies and knows a lot about things that not many people in our Russian-speaking countries know about. So she really knows deeply very specific areas.
У Ольги есть талант находить самую ценную информацию и очень хорошо ее систематизировать.
Olga has a talent, a special talent to find very interesting, very important information and structure it.
Также я благодарю Ольгу за то, что она взяла на себя такую трудную миссию помогать всем участникам наших программ. А как я уже говорила, это на сегодня география 45 стран, подбирать необходимые нутриенты, витамины и минералы, которые могут быть доставлены в любую точку мира человеку домой.
And I would like to thank Olga for her taking a very important part in our programs, very specific direction, which is to find particular vitamins and minerals that a person needs, and to find a way for them to be delivered directly to the body, to the places where they are needed.
И думаю, что только безумец на сегодняшний день может считать, что он может получить все необходимое для своей жизнедеятельности из тех продуктов, которые он может купить в магазине.
And I think that it will be a kind of very too light thinking to think that you are able to find everything you need in the food products that you eat every day.
Я хотела сегодня об этом говорить, но просто мы не дошли до этого.
This was also partially a thing I was going to talk about, but we don't have much time, so let's leave it for later.
Получать необходимые витамины и микроэлементы очень важно, особенно те, кто практикует сухое голодание, длительные, интервальные и каскадные.
To have enough vitamins and minerals, very important for those who practice dry fasting, intermittent and cascade fasting modes.
Потому что во время сухого голодания утилизируются не только вредные и ненужные организму вещества, но уходят и необходимые витамины и минералы, и важно не попасть в дефицит.
Because during fasting, not only toxins and bad things are being utilized by your body, but also useful ones, so useful minerals and vitamins. And it is very important that you are not getting into falling into deficit of them after the fasting.
Сейчас уже прошло 2 часа нашей встречи, и мы заканчиваем.
So it's almost 2 hours. Yeah, it's not almost, but 2 hours of our meeting flew. So, and we are coming to an end.
Я хочу поблагодарить Ольгу. Что-то я поняла. Из ее выступления все-таки учила английский в школе.
So I want to thank Olga again. I understood certain things from what she was talking about. I still remember the English which I was studying at school and at the university, but not much.
Если вы захотите встретиться еще с Ольгой, мы, думаю, с Фредриком это организуем.
So if you would like to meet with Olga again, with Frederick, we will be able to arrange this. Let us know, please.
Я хочу поблагодарить Валентину за квалифицированный перевод.
I would like to thank Valentina for her interpretation.
За то, что школе 11 лет, и ко мне очень часто обращались англоязычные, но я никогда за это не бралась. А благодаря тому, что Валентина год назад дала согласие быть переводчиком, она проходила наши программы, я уверена в ее квалифицированном переводе, и теперь я могу помогать людям, те, кто не говорят на русском, но говорят на английском, получать информацию о сухом голодании.
Thanks to Valentina, I now can, in make more, I mean, yeah, I can now communicate and help English-speaking people, not only because she knows English to a certain extent, but also because she passed the programs and she is in the subject to some extent, and it is easier for her to communicate with those people and to deliver the correct information to them.
Я хочу поблагодарить Фредрика за то, что хоть он и узнал о сухом голодании от меня, от первой, все же наконец-то решился меня пригласить на эту встречу.
I would like certainly to thank Frederick. A special thanks to Frederick, who knew about me long ago, and finally he kind of decided to made a decision to invite me to this meeting to talk to you.
Я хочу поблагодарить всех участников нашей встречи, кто добыл целых 2 часа с нами, и понимаю, что это не всегда удобно, когда с переводом.
And of course, my thanks to you, to the participants of our meeting, who were who are kind of very strong people who stayed those 2 hours with us. It's not easy, I understand, and I thank you, and I hope this time was useful for you.
Надеюсь, что вы услышали что-то новое для себя.
I hope that there were things that were new for you, that you discovered during this time.
И у вас появился еще больше интерес к практике сухого голодания, и страх ушел.
And this interest provokes or motivates you to learn more, and on the other hand, it decreased or almost maybe took away this scariness of dry fasting.
И думаю, что вопросов теперь у вас стало еще больше.
And I think that you have more questions now.
Поэтому, если вы имеете желание еще раз встретиться, пишите ваши вопросы Фредрику с пометкой «Вопросы для Анны Якубы», и мы подумаем, как нам организовать дальше наши встречи.
So please, if you have questions, please forward them, send them to Frederick with a note, questions to Anna Yakuba, and with Frederick, we will think how to arrange another meeting to answer them.
Если у кого-то будет интерес обучиться моей авторской методике, способ реабилитации организма,
if anyone would like to study my system, so the approach that I developed, which is called rehabilitation, ways to rehabilitate, so to restore the body.
Мы можем рассмотреть вместе с Фредриком и Валентиной и Ольгой, как организовать цикл онлайн вебинаров для желающих.
We can consider, by we, I mean Frederick, I mean Olga as well. So how we will think how to arrange a series of webinars for those who are interested to go further.
И скажу вам по секрету, Фредерик еще этого не знает.
So I will tell you it's a secret. Frederick doesn't know yet about this.
Я планировала свою деятельность до 1 сентября, и с 1 сентября я планирую уйти в творческий отпуск и перестать проводить программы. И об этом заявлено уже на моем сайте.
I'm thinking of stopping my programs as of 1st of September, and as of this time to have some kind of retreat, I would say.
Моя голова переполнена информацией, и я бы хотела написать свою вторую книгу.
I have my head, so my head is full of information, and I would like to write my second book, my next book.
Ну, в связи с пандемией и тем, что многие люди не могут к нам приехать сейчас в Украину, мы рассматриваем с моим сыном и с помощником Дмитрием возможность проведения программы в ноябре в Турции.
But in view, considering the pandemic, we are with my son Dmitry and with my assistant, so the person who helped me, we are thinking of making one more program in Turkey, в ноябре.
А что?
Программа в ноябре, я забыла месяц.
В ноябре, да.
В ноябре, да. In Turkey this November.
Когда уже не сильно жарко.
When it's not very hot there.
Турция – это та страна, которая во время пандемии не закрывала свои границы и имела авиасообщение со всеми странами, и надеемся, что в ноябре будет так же.
Turkey is the country which during the pandemic had its borders open, so that didn't close the flights, canceled the flights and transportation between among countries. So we hope that this will continue.
И та группа людей, которая соберется по заявкам у Фредрика, они смогут пройти онлайн обучение и подготовиться к программе 7-суточного сухого голодания в ноябре.
And if among you there are people who would like to have an offline dry fasting, a 7-day dry fasting program, they will be able to have a preparation period, to pass the preparation period online and come for the program to Turkey, for example.
И так как это секрет и для Фредрика в том числе, поэтому все зависит от вас. Если среди вас будут желающие, мы будем думать, как это организовать.
So this is news for Frederick as well, and if among you there are people who would like to join this program, we with Frederick will think how we can arrange this.
Хочу всех поблагодарить за возможность быть вам всем полезной. Спасибо. Thank you very much.
And I would like to thank each and every one of you for the opportunity to be useful to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. Bye. Thank you so much. Much love.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.